2043, December 28th, the crime scene up in the mansion where the android sat. Being taken to custody, he gazed at his hands, whispering about some fairies and the child's land. In the seat where he's caged, you'll have to sit with him alone. He's no use to us, but I'll put him on the phone.
My name is Al. I am not man. You hate me now, what can't you see? I did this all for your sake. It's all for your sake. It's all for your sake. It's over. I will not run when the lights go.
Al, what's your alibi?
I must went to the man I hate the most.
Al, why are you trying to hide?
There is no justice for what he has done.
There we go. I am so sorry. My mic was off the whole time while I was wrestling my dog. Yeah, hi guys. It's been 5 fucking years. Yeah, hi, hi, codename, or color? Call? Wait, Co? Yeah, hi Claire. I actually said hi to you a while ago, but I apparently wasn't speaking into the mic. Hi Maru, hi, hey Steam. Steam, thanks for sharing again, since I couldn't say anything a while ago without actually, yeah. Anyways, welcome to the stream. It's been 5 years, so I'm just gonna review the shit that I did in the last 2 years that I didn't put in the last 3-year stream. So, yeah, hi, George Lewis? I'm sorry, I really can't deal with names. I'm a terrible fucking name reader. Anyways, yeah. So, thanks, codename. So, it's been a long time since I've streamed, and I suppose that I should do some updates with what I'm doing with music and what I'm doing with life in general. So, to those people who don't know, I actually have a new SoundCloud. This thing. It's in the description if you want to see it, but I think most of you guys are already following me on there. One of my first tracks was the To the Dreams That I Killed, which was on this channel. I think that already existed about 2 years ago. Yeah, this is it. To the Dreams That I Killed. And oh yeah, you guys can please ask questions. Actually, just please ask questions so that I could like answer them. But I'll probably be speaking as I answer them just because it's easier for me. But yeah, about the channel. So I completely revamped the channel, and yeah, I completely revamped the channel, and it's completely different now. So most of my old PVs are gone. Most of my old videos are gone in general, but they're not actually gone. If you go to the playlists, then I have all of my videos. Yeah, I have all of my videos. It's just what's it? It's just not public, but not private. Unlisted, that's the word. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, my previous videos are unlisted on YouTube. All of them are yeah, they're here, but they're just in collections now. And for Claire, what happened to my Twitter and Discord, I basically nuked it, following some dramatic things, emotional shit, with basically fallout and drama with the Vocaloid fandom in general, and some of my closer friends from back then. So, and yeah, okay, I should probably also talk about the Discord thing. What happened on Discord is that I unfriended almost all of my friends except several people, and I quit almost all of my servers because I was going through a midlife crisis and I wanted to end my life. Yeah, I went into the hospital like last week. I came out of the ER pretty quickly. So nothing too bad happened. It wasn't like I was overdosing or dying or anything. So this time it was pretty okay. I didn't do anything. Anyways, so yeah, I revamped my shit for like the fifth fucking time or something. And the only reason why I was actually planning to do this at all was because I made this live stream public after like several years. Oh, well, 1 year, I guess. Yeah, and it's been some time, so I thought I might actually just revisit and say, "Hey, I'm alive." Yeah. Uh, so yeah, the only videos that aren't unlisted are To the Dreams That I've Killed and Thus a Ghost Was Born, because these two I am particularly proud of, and I did everything. So, like, if I did the PV only, I don't think I should take credit for it, and if I did the music only, I don't think I should take credit for it again. But the fact that I did both the PV and the music, and the fact that I put so much effort into it, was basically the reason why I kept it like public, or made it public again. And there's a couple of things I think that I hid, like I didn't make public just because I didn't like it. Like the what's it? Where is it? This one, Curious Rebirth of Cadence Redacted. Uh, Steam. Wait, how laggy is it for you there? Just answer later. But anyway, so the Curious Rebirth of Cadence Redacted. It's got like 33k views or something. It's like, and I made it in 2017. But wait, Steam, how much did you hear? Were you able to hear the whole story, or parts of the story at least? But yeah, the Curious Birth of Cadence Redacted, I did not make public because originally this song was a request from somebody else. Somebody suggested, "Hey, why don't you do a song about this murder victim?" And I was like, "Sure." Um, so I so I did make a song based on the guy's suggestion. Who's the suggester? Okay, LT Colorado. There was this fan called LT Colorado who commented on one of my songs saying, "Why don't you make a song based on this murder victim?" Which I did, and it got a lot of traction. I was not expecting that. Honestly, the PV is kind of shit. I'm not really proud of the art that I did here. I'm not really proud of the video. I like the music, but that's about it. So yeah, I don't like it. That's basically it. So I just made it unlisted. That's the same reason for most of my videos that are unlisted. I'm just not as proud of it as I was or used to be. Or I don't want to take credit for things I didn't do. Like, I think I did Ghost PVs and ADS PVs. And people kept commenting that, "Oh, you make such great music." And I'm like, I didn't make the fucking music. But yeah, so that's what's happening with YouTube right now. And I'm actually active on another channel that I only post my rap songs on, so there's no Vocaloid involved. It's it's called Embedded Systems. Just yeah, I think it's linked in the description. But it's this channel called Embedded Systems where I basically upload all of my personal songs that I didn't make the instrumentals for. So it started 2 years ago. Yeah, it started 2 years ago when I was first diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, and it was basically started out as a vent channel where I could just make lyrics for an instrumental that I thought was better than my own instrumentals, and it evolved I think around, yeah, it evolved around here. So 2 months ago, I uploaded a song with my own instrumental and my own rap and lyrics. And yeah, I uploaded another one like yesterday. I completely forgot that I did that. But yeah, we're just gonna listen to the first few songs on here. If you guys want to ask any questions, then go ahead. Definitely, I'm gonna answer them anyways. It's just that I'm scatterbrained right now. Thanks. I saw nightmares again. I was another person, another time, another place, another me. I was in the hospital. Underground beside the morgue. A freak show in the wing. I never thought I'd enter, never thought I'd see. Yet I was alive, trapped in my body, in my mind, where the voices haunt my dreams. I was alive. It was back in the days when I couldn't feel right. No matter what they said, I knew it wasn't alright. I guess I must have split then. I never felt like myself, cause when they kicked me in the end, I felt like I could never help but be hopeless. Alone in the darkness, I scratched like a madman, talking to myself and the God that I once knew. No, they were just once true, when I knew I could still dream of the powers I prayed to. Like a fool. It was some years before I met them. The people in my head, cause like they said I was special. Who knew that special could bruise you like a fork on your hand? The sight of barcode scars, they never failed to make me laugh. I was crazy, I still am. The years they come and go, and the people that I once knew and the God that I'd forgotten, they were with me. Still. Back with my mind, Elizabeth in my stride, Cube never failing to pick up what she left behind. There was the God who I prayed to, the little girl I once knew, and the cast and crew of voices that gave noise that I'd forgotten, and the music, the memories, the chaos and the silence. Like a fever dream, I couldn't tell if what I saw was violence or if it happened. Did it happen? I don't know if I'll ever see that what my past bestowed me was a pocket full of holes and no memory. No memory. And the story's just begun with me, a hidden for years right behind me. The doctor, he calls for more medicine, an easy way out, the medication just hanging right in front of me. And I count down the days that I'll see them in my dreams again, the person who I once was and the trauma that I now hold, it's a part of me. And I'm still me. No, I haven't changed. Back to back with my mind, Elizabeth in my stride, Cube never failing to pick up what she left behind. There was the God who I prayed to, the little girl I once knew, and the cast and crew of voices that gave noise that I'd forgotten, and the music, the memories, the chaos and the silence. Like a fever dream, I couldn't tell if what I saw was violence or if it happened. Did it happen? I don't know if I'll ever see that what my past bestowed me was a pocket full of holes and no memory. No memory. Alright, so now that the song's ended, I'm just gonna answer Claire's question, because there are several reasons behind why I'm not comfortable using this channel anymore, or more like my name, but yeah, so as I mentioned here, I was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, 2018. So, yeah, the name Shius, or Shius, as you guys know it. I don't really know how you guys want to pronounce it. You guys can pronounce it anyway. But yeah, the name is actually derived from one of my alters, which is known as an alternate identity. So, if you don't know what dissociative identity disorder is, it's a disorder where you basically manifest multiple identities or have alternate personalities. It used to be called multiple personality disorder, but now that's not a very accurate name, and I don't really like it when people use that name instead of dissociative identity disorder because it's kind of stereotyping the whole thing. But yeah, I'm not really comfortable using the name SHIUS because that is actually the name of one of my alters. If you're listening to the song lyrics of this A Pocket Full of Holes, then you might have heard the lyric come out. I think it was a god that I worshipped or something like that. I forgot the exact lyrics, but it mentions in the songs that I mentioned about dissociative identity disorder, there is usually a character that I mention as a god that I used to worship, and that is SHIUS. Shius. And yeah, during the time I made my channel, I didn't think that Shius was a separate entity from myself. Which sounds absolutely fucking bonkers, but it basically means that they're a separate personality for me, and I'm not really comfortable using the name of a separate entity, I guess, because I am not them. Wait 1 second, I'm gonna go scream at my cat. Alright, am I back? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, in the couple songs that I have dissociative identity disorder, another one that I want to show you is actually on my own channel. Steam, that's way too late. Yeah, he's destroying the shit out of my room. So yeah, Benji, get out. Off. Okay. So yeah, um, another video that I wanted to show you guys as an explanation, I guess, or yeah, an explanation was the um, I think it was posted before on this channel called Cerberus. Yes, Cerberus, I think. I don't remember my own songs. Goddamn. There we go, Cerberus. Yeah. So yeah, in this video, there's a character with a blue shirt. This one, this character right here. That is Shius, the original Shius. That is not me, or at least how I imagined them in my head. Again, I know it's absolutely bonkers, but they're not technically me, so the name Shius does not belong to me. Benji, what are you doing? Off. Wait 1 sec. Okay, never mind. I didn't mute it. Okay, so yeah, it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about, but um, since I was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder and I realized that I am not actually a single person, it's yeah, it's been kind of rough. Lots of anxiety attacks, hallucinations, delusions, kind of schizoaffective shit. I'm not schizophrenic. I don't have schizoaffective disorder, but I have a lot of symptoms that have similarities to that, like paranoia, dissociation, I guess, other shit. And I've made multiple songs about those topics because yeah. Yeah, because it's pretty relevant to me, I guess. So, in this embedded systems is yeah, it's a pun. Anyways, cuz I work in IT and I went to university for IT. And yeah, my boyfriend at the time was an engineer, so I thought, hey, embedded systems, that's a fun name. So yeah, I named this embedded systems. I probably won't change it, despite how stupid it is, because it's so hard to look for. And I don't want to be found. I just don't want to be found anymore. Yeah, I have a tendency of deleting videos that get too big or too popular because I don't like being out there, especially if they're a bit too personal. The only exception I make for this is To the Dreams That I Killed, because I know a lot of you guys actually resonate with that song. And yeah, I've been dealing with PTSD shit, depression shit. It's not a fun topic to talk about, I know, and I'm sorry, but yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of mental diagnosis and graduation from college, starting work, being an adult, getting pets. Yeah. So it's basically a whole lengthy explanation as how I can't really find the will in myself to become active on this anymore. At least not with this name on this channel. Because I used to love making videos. I used to love drawing and shit. I don't really like making videos anymore, and I never really liked drawing. I like making music. I don't not like making music. So, again, Steam, thanks for teaching me how to make music, which is something that really helped me live, I guess? Okay, yeah, that's corny as shit. Anyways, so, yeah, I'm probably not going to be active in the Vocaloid sphere that much because I just don't like the people there. I don't like a lot of the people there. I used to pretend that I was, I like to, help around the community and shit. I still like helping around the community, but not because it's the Vocaloid community. I just like helping communities. But the Vocaloid fandom wasn't that great for me mentally. A lot of the people there I knew were kind of manipulative in terms of, money, in terms of, drama, especially drama. And Steam knows this, Color knows this. Yeah, I don't really fuck with the Twitter part anymore. Yeah, that's why I just kind of nuked my whole Twitter account. But yeah, so continuing on with things that I actually did while I was AFK, I guess. I mentioned that I have a new YouTube channel. Did you guys ever oh, yeah. I also made some songs for Project Overdose before I completely left the Project Overdose group. I made a song for them which was Masked. I think Sis was active a few days ago, but I don't really know what he's doing anymore. And I believe, To the Dreams That I've Killed was also a collab with Sis. So, yeah, that's gone. Same, Steam, I feel you. Anyways, let's play the video.
Did you know you can change your voice in real time on Discord?
Two memories that are gone for now. Two moments always fleeting. Two feelings that can't be repaired. Two thoughts that make you never sad. I share this one secret. Ashes to ash and fuck them up. That you once said, don't forget them. A sundown, once it had on king. Oh, now we once it day on it. Behind the myself. Does it matter now if everything in all of it is said and done? Would you want to know? And if we get it down, keep chasing the good in a liquid one. You want that on. I wonder who was it that kept me asunder? Was it her or him? Oh no, him. Was it they or it? Feel I love this shit, and so was I left behind, or did I just go blind? Couldn't see the truth, couldn't see that it was you. Wanted so bad, trusted you were all I had, and in its place, you're the one who stole my face. You're the one who stole my face. You're the one who wears my face. So
Building your
Yeah, I don't know what. Alright, okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was one of the things I did for Project Overdose before I left. And I think Steam might have left a bit after, I'm not really sure. Well, Steam can explain that for himself, but sorry. But yeah, nostalgia. Kinda good nostalgia and kinda bad nostalgia. There was a couple of problems with the group in itself, which I don't exactly want to make public, but it's basically lots of pressure on several things like deadlines, money. It's one of the things that contributed to my burnout, and I don't really associate with those people in the group anymore, except for Steam and maybe Nova, who's now called Elbow, I believe. Of the things that I've been doing recently, let's see. So, I'm just going to update you guys on what's happened in the past 2 years that you guys might have missed. Some explanations behind the things that whatever the fuck I was doing, but I believe most of my updates were in the original songs, like, playlist. Yeah. Yeah. As some people know, I started using Fukase a lot, and it led me to a lot of actually good people that I consider my friends now. So, the first song that I did with Fukase was actually not even on YouTube. It's a collab that I did with a Japanese person on, Piapro. Yeah, Piapro. So I was asking, hey, can anybody write lyrics for me, because I can't write Japanese lyrics for shit. And the person responded with, hey, why don't you want to do this collab with me? I can make these lyrics and you could be my instrumentalist. And I was like, sure. So I have a couple of songs with that single person. I'm not really sure what their name is anymore, and I'm not sure if they're online even. But in my old account of SoundCloud, in my old SoundCloud account, yeah, I have several songs with them. I think the first one was the Kaiyuki song. Hmm? Oh wait, no, this is my popular tracks. So there was a Kaiyuki song that I did on Nico Video, which was wait, let me actually go to Nico Video. So yeah, I think I have the original video on my Nico Nico, which is a Japanese song with Kaiyuki. Because at that time I was still a really big fan of Kaiyuki, and I really wanted to use her. So my channel. Okay, never mind. I completely forget how to use this website. My list. Alright, never mind. You can see all my cringy shit, which I don't mind, but there we go. Yeah, my posts include some of these old videos, and this is the video that I think you guys might have never seen, just because it was never on YouTube. It's the reason why I didn't upload it on YouTube was because the person who wanted to draw the illustration for it drew the illustration, but it was cheese pizza, or yeah, Steam, I agree. It's it's kind of, you know, CP, so I'll show it to you guys, but I don't. You can search for it. You can just like it on Nico Nico, but I won't like put it on YouTube because witch hunting happens. All right. Anyways. All right. So yeah, you can see why I did not upload this to YouTube. This particular video. Yeah, the guy who wrote the lyrics for me, there we go. The guy, his name is Kotaro. Yeah, he knew several artists who liked to draw for Vocaloid Ps, I guess. And he said that, hey, this guy is my friend and he could draw for this video. And I was like, sure. I was not expecting this. Anyways, yeah, in the Nico Nico, I think there's also some videos here that are exclusive to Nico, but not in my actual playlist. So, yeah, if you go to my account in Nico Video, I actually have my video list posted, public. Hi, Joshua. And yeah, there's several videos in here that's not in my public playlist. That's linked in all of the public videos. So there's these old songs, and then there's this song, which is another song by Kotaro. I'm not sure if there's English lyrics for this, but it's the first Fukase song that I did. So let's just watch it.
Kimi wa shirayuki hime, ushimitsu黄色黒髪にリンゴみたいな赤い方、僕が唇で撫でた場所、一番赤かった。君は雪みたいに幸せを積もらせていつか溶けるのかな。川みたいに生き返るように僕は毎日君にキスをする。鐘が鳴っている。君は白雪姫、牛蜜の黄色黒髪にリンゴみたいな赤い方、僕が唇で触れた場所、一番赤かった。あれはかじかむ手に化粧としての手袋を置くで、愛し合ったね、愛し合ったね、悪魔みたいねって笑われたけど、綺麗におめかししたかった僕のお人形。 幸せを積もらせていつか解けるのかな川みたいに生き返るように王子でもない僕はキスをするああ鐘が鳴っている
Alright, so yeah. Yeah, this is one of my this is my oldest Fukase song. I think the other Fukase songs I have are all on the new SoundCloud account, which is again linked in the description, and I think also linked in my YouTube channel. But the oh yeah, I've completely forgot. So yeah, the lyrics. So the person who gave me the lyrics, this guy called Kotaro, he exclusively wrote about like old fairy tales. Yeah, fairy tales with princesses. The first song that I showed you with Kaiyuki was about Princess Mermaid, the Little Mermaid. Yeah, I'm not sure what the English name is, but in Japanese it's called Ningyo Hime, which is the Princess Mermaid, I think, in English. And this one was about Snow White. So the girl that you saw with black hair and the bob cut, she's Snow White. And Fukase is like the prince, I guess. I don't really know what he is because he keeps saying like I'm a bad Santa and you call me the devil is literally one of the English translated lyrics. Apparently Snow White calls him the devil and a bad Santa. But it's like a winter romancy thing. I guess while we're on the topic of that guy Kotaro, there's one more song that I actually did in English that I was really proud of at the time. But for some reason, not for some reason. I couldn't make a video of it because it was very fucking long. And it's, this one was actually not based, I think it was based on something? Thumbelina? Yeah, this one was based on Little Thumbelina and the Sparrow. It's based on the Thumbelina story, I guess. And he made the original lyrics in Japanese, which I translated to English and made into a 6-minute epic, I guess. Yeah. But where is it? But yeah, I'm not sure why I can't really open this in a new tab. SoundCloud's kind of stupid with that, but so alright, never mind. So yeah, and Color, these songs are related, I guess, in the sense that the theme, all of the themes are the same, but they're not actually in any order. It's just literally kind of random stories about princesses falling in love with guys. That's literally his aesthetic. There we go. So, Little Thumbelina and the Sparrow. The lyrics are pretty good, if I say so myself, because I had to, like, rearrange them and translate them to English and stuff, so I'm just gonna show you the lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, basically. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you the lyrics while I play the song. Alright?
Curling gold locks, lovely flowers by her side. A pretty pink dress as she strides by, little Thumbelina, our princess and bride. Detained in the castle since the day she was born, she remained with her servant, the little butler boy. Alone with him she played and sang, her voice was heard across the land. But the day would come when her first love would appear, when the sparrow's tail could damn his black sleek hair and the kangaroo palace, he realized that she wanted none other than to be the poor butler's bride. Always a shepherd. If only it was kind, like the love and their eyes, but it will soon come when love becomes their demise. But kind-hearted committed that the sparrows tinkled, he always kept clean. The butler was called out by none other than the queen. Her husband angered the princess' fiancé even worse. She begged him to leave her, seek a different course. But with a sad smile and a hand to his chest, the sparrow left the queen's nest. Now the queen left alone, she thought in solemnity the lover of her daughter, who was to think he'd be so petty to choose his love over his life. It really was a pity. To the death throes he stood up, there was no more saving his soul. The princess unknowing, she yearned for a hug, yearned for a hug.
I've never seen fox cry, yet I've always been to fly, I've always been to fly. I've come back, fox cry so bright, just like bubble in your eyes, bubble in your eyes.
The butler's eye and bag as he said he would love her. Forever and ever he would always assure her. But soon the bells will ring, as the sparrow will sing. Forever and ever we will always remember. On a cold winter day, the sky was still blue gray. The children stared on as the mother said, "Look away." The sparrow ripped away from his lover's sunny haze. Alone he swore he would never regret this day. The warm castle walls, the bells tolled on at night. The princess in her wedding gown, her pure white bridal gown. Her love was nowhere to be found. Instead, she that what had to be done. The princess, unknowing, she yearned for her love, yearned for her love.
Finally, I see the sky. I was made to fly. I was made to fly.
And on the rooftop in a vibrant red, she fell to her demise, she fell to her demise. Forever and ever, she knew he would love her. Forever and ever, he always assured her. And on the hangman's dogs, the final bell had rung. The time had come for the sparrow's last song. Goodbye, goodbye, I hope we meet again. Goodbye, goodbye, I will always love you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, this song was a whole story. It's like seven. Yeah, it's 7 freaking minutes. Um, I do not know how I would be able to make a video for this, even if I wanted to, just because it's so fucking long. And you know, it's the original lyrics for this was in Japanese, and it was very short, very very short. I expanded it, as you can see. I expanded way more than I should have, because yeah, I really like the fucking Evilius songs. Evilius, you know, the Aku no Musume, Aku no Meshitsukai, the Servant of Evil and Princess of Evil. I'm not really sure what the English name is, but those songs directly inspired that one song. So yeah, that's one of the songs that's one of the old songs never actually saw the light of day, just because they were so long. They were really good. It's a really good song, but it's just so fucking long. And one thing I think you guys especially who knew me from after I started getting a bit bigger, was probably the fact that yeah, I had like a lot of, yeah, Steam. I like Mothi, but I think they kind of dragged it out a bit. Like, they milked the shit out of that series, and it doesn't make any sense anymore. I don't follow any of the new things anymore. I just follow the Servant of Evil and Princess of Evil just because. But yeah, I also had some old collabs with Xbus. This was like 3 years ago, so that was 2017. And that was, I think, my first. No, that was not my first collab, but it was my first collab with Xbus. And I think, yeah, I did a collab with Steam before that. Yeah, this is the collab with Steam. It's old. I think Sis wrote the lyrics for this. Yeah. I think Sis wrote the lyrics for this. I forgot if I wrote the lyrics or if Sis wrote the lyrics. And I've already showcased it in my last live stream, so I don't really feel like I need to do it now. So this song, actually, I had 2 collabs with Xbus. And when I mean collab, it means I commissioned them to make instrumentals, and I put my own lyrics and my own Vocaloid vocals on top of that. So it's not really a collab, it's just kind of me profiting off their work. But yeah, Xbus's old songs, well, his current songs are also really good. His current songs are also really, really good, but his old songs, I think, had more of a classical feel to it, which is one of the things that I particularly like for this song. So yeah, this is one of the old shit that I did. This artist also, I think she was a Filipina. Yeah, Kateri. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name, but she was one of the people who I used to be friends with, I think. I'm not really sure if I don't think I know them anymore. So yeah, she also did the illustration for my other Xmas collab song, which was Superhero by Kaiyuki. It was a dubstep song about basically Panda Hero Panda Hero ripoff. So yeah, let's just listen to this one.
For freedom and purpose we will sing. For a flag to rise again we will win. Oh, take to arms and fight. We will seize victory on this very night. Challenges may be on the wall. Oh, drop the bridges, make it fall. Our land once broken, challenge from within. Our king and queen, our land of sin. Rebel against them, rebel for our own, and sing the song of victory on the throne. Take to arms and we shall fight. Take to arms and we will sing a song of victory. Challenges may be on the wall. Oh, drop the bridges, make it fall. Take to arms and fight. Take to arms and seize the night. Oh, take to arms and we will fight. Take to arms and seize the night. Take to arms and we will fight. Take to arms and seize the night. Take to arms and we will fight. Take to arms and seize the night. Challenges may be on the wall. Oh, drop the bridges, make it fall. Oh, take to arms and fight.
Alright, so yeah, this song was one of my first collabs, and actually was one of the collabs I was really proud of back in the day when I didn't understand how to make music. So yeah, I always had a knack for making lyrics. I think, well, my first ever actual music piece is Steam's song. Um, so yeah, Steam song. Going back to that topic, the first ever thing I wrote lyrics for was Steam's song with Mayu. I'm not sure if it's Steam's only song with Mayu. It's the one about the doll. What's the title again? Fuck it, I'll just look for it on this channel. Is it on my channel? Well, yeah, it's probably on my channel. So, Steam's, I think I made a PV of it, but I'm not sure if I actually included English lyrics. Oh, they found it. Okay, yeah. My original, yeah. Steam, you forgot too. Well, yeah, it's been like 4 years. Has it been 4 years? No, never mind. It's been literally 5 years. Okay, yeah. There we go. 100 Years in Darkness. That's the original English title. I think, yeah, Steam meant this to be like Steam meant this to be an Enka song. I did not know I was writing for an Enka song, so I made it edgy as fuck because I thought Steam equals edgy, right? And yeah, that was Kid Me. Yeah, I guess some of you guys actually remember the song. Like Clara, you've heard of the song? I'm surprised. Oh well, nah. I guess Clara, you've been here with me a long time, but I think lots of my new fans don't actually know this song and don't actually know the fact that I wrote for this song. Like, this was my first ever lyrical piece. So the lyrics are actually very jaunted, and I was focusing a lot on the not vocabulary, but like the amount of syllables. Yeah, I was actually focusing on the number of syllables. So this song has a certain pattern, like in every paragraph, which is like every lyric block, like verse 1, chorus 1, they have a certain number of syllables. And I was trying so hard to make sure that I was following the number of syllables needed for the song because I didn't understand how lyrics worked. So that's why the whole song is like 8 minutes because, well, for one thing, it's a Steam song, and Steam is guilty of making such long, elaborate songs since like the dawn of time. And yeah, it's also partly my fault. No, it's actually a lot my fault too because I didn't know how to make lyrics. And I think the lyrics were very long for the song. I'm not really sure though. Anyways, let's just look at the video.
と誰も来ないこのほの暗い埃っぽいそこの中で寂しさに駆られて待つしかない気が狂うような長い時間の間私はただ一人あなたを呪ってきた私はずっと待っているよいつかの扉が開くのを待っているのいつか仕返しできるあの日まで冷たく汚いそこの中で100年間たとえ外の世界で終わろうともあなたが不幸なになれずが待っているから
Yeah. All right. So. Oh wait, don't please don't lull play. Oh God, why? Anyways, so yeah, yeah, I've actually never explained the story behind this song to anyone. I think because now that I think of it, it's such a cultural thing in terms of like history and beliefs that I didn't know where to start. I guess in how to explain it. So I never actually explained the story behind that song. But that song is a combination of it's a combination of a lot of Japanese beliefs and Japanese history. So okay, wait, where do I start? So there is 3 parts to this I want to explain. First of all, I'll have to explain about World War II Japan, like how the culture was in World War II in Japan, because that's very involved in this topic. And then there's the Shinto belief on 100 years and inanimate objects. And then there's how I got to know about World War II and all of these Shinto and religion shit. But okay, I'll just explain it in that order. So about the World War II, this song is about the war. Like if you saw the video, if you remember, there's like if you remember the video clips in that PV, there's like air bombers. Like there's like people in planes that are going down from the planes to like become foot soldiers or like bomb the area or something. Well, in Japan, during World War II, there was a mass bombing on Tokyo. I forgot what the exact incident name was called. I think you can look it up if you wanted to, but it's yeah, there was I think American people bombed Japan, Tokyo, during World War II, and it caused a huge fire. I think right after the huge fire, the Kanto earthquake happened. So the Kanto earthquake is like a once in 100 years or once in 1,000 years or something like that. It's a huge ass earthquake that has been like, I think, so in recent history, it's been Japan's most devastating earthquake. And Japan being Imperial Japan at that time, yeah, they did not like the Americans. They thought everything they did, everything the Americans did was cursed. The story itself, the video, is from the perspective of this doll. So, oh yeah, actually Steam makes a good point. There's that a film called Hotaru no Haka, which is the Firefly's Grave, I think, if you translate in English. But it's a good, yeah, the Grave of Fireflies. There we go, Josh. The Grave of Fireflies. Yeah, that that movie is a very good explanation of World War II Japan. But I'm talking more about World War II Japan in Tokyo. That movie is more of World War II Japan in Okinawa, which is a completely different story. I won't go into detail, but yeah, yeah, it's Japan's history is whack. But so basically, the World War II Tokyo was basically filled with rich people who could afford foreign toys and foreign shit. And in World War II, in the world, or more like the Meiji era, which was the era that the king lived, the fucking emperor lived. The emperor, Meiji emperor, lived during that time. That's why it's called the Meiji era. And in Japan, yeah, that by the way, that emperor is a piece of shit. But anyway, so, yeah, during the time of World War II, because people from Tokyo were rich, they could generally afford things from foreign countries like chocolate, dolls, toys, guns. And those things that were mostly considered toys, like also books. Books is a big thing. So in World War II Japan, what they did was that the Japanese imperials, thinking that America is bad, foreign is bad, Western is bad, they basically gathered all the foreign things that belonged to Japanese citizens and they burned them. So yeah, if you think of like the Nazis burning books, it's basically the same thing, except Japanese people got like Christian crosses, they got like dolls, porcelain dolls. In Japanese, these porcelain dolls are actually called French dolls because they are assumed to have come from France. So in this case, the story is centered around a French doll in World War II Tokyo that was basically saved by the girl who was trying to hide the doll in a bunker. Yeah, it's a really, really detailed setting, but anyways, so the girl hides the doll in a bunker, and in one part of the song, it's shown that the doll feels a rumble. Wait, where's my? Wait, sorry, I'm just looking for the video again. Oh yeah, I could just go back. Never mind. What? Oh, I'm fucking stupid. All right. So yeah, going back to the video, there's some telltale details that talk about the war in Tokyo. Specifically the bombing part, and where is it? All right. There we go. Yeah, okay, so specifically the bombing part, as I mentioned, World War II Tokyo had one of the biggest bombings, and right after, one of the biggest earthquakes that Tokyo has ever experienced in recent history. And that's basically the shake that happens, like, there's the shake that happens. Basically, the premise of the song is that the French doll was put into a bunker so that she wouldn't be found by the soldiers who were trying to hunt foreign objects down. So the little girl, to save her doll, she puts the doll in a bunker, an underground bunker, and she basically lets the doll like rot there because she can't. I don't really know why she doesn't actually enter the bunker herself. I think in my mind she was one of those rich Japanese people that would like go to the countryside to escape from Tokyo. So what I'm assuming is that she tries to escape from Tokyo, but before that happens, a bomb falls, the earthquake happens, and the girl ends up dead. So 100 years later, or not really even 100 years later, the doll basically continues thinking about the girl. And in Shinto religion, if an inanimate object lasts like in one piece for 100 years, they become a god. or a yokai, I guess. A yokai is more accurate. But a yokai is like it's a spirit that inhabits an inanimate object, and it's kind of like poltergeist, I guess. So the inanimate object grows a soul in 100 years, basically. And that's basically what happens with this doll. In the last scene, I think she stands. So yeah, she's standing here, and that's because she has gained a soul and can move around. That's the whole story. It's a freaky doll that can move around because she was left 100 years to rot. And yeah, she basically curses her owner for leaving her there for 100 years without knowing that her owner has long since passed away. And that's the story of this song, which I thought was actually edgy at the time. Like, I made it so that it would be edgy, but then a lot of comments that I got were saying that, oh, this is such a sad song, oh, poor doll. And I'm just like, nah, you don't know that the doll is haunted and is likely gonna kill anyone who opens the bunker doors. But yeah, that's the story. And oh yeah, I was also going to explain why I know this much about World War II Japan. It's because I was relentlessly bullied in the Philippines and in Japan for World War II happenings. Racism is fucking terrible. Because, yeah, in Japan, the Philippines was an enemy that was taken over by America. So, you know, Japanese, America, World War II, American scum, basically that sense of logic. And in the Philippines, I'm half Japanese, half Filipino. So when I went to the Philippines, I was actually being bullied by Koreans. Not actually Filipinos, but by Koreans. And I mean South Koreans, specifically. Because South Koreans, when I went to school in high school, there was a lot of South Koreans in my school, which was not exactly an international school, but one of the high upper private schools. Where, well, lots of Koreans back then, they would go to the Philippines to learn English for very close to free prices. And yeah, I was in one of those rich, uppity schools with uniforms and shit. And the Koreans there was a lot of South Koreans there, and they were relentless in... Whenever it came to history class, they would basically, like, point whenever the people said, hey, look, Japan did this shit, and Japan did this shit. The Koreans would be like, yeah, we all hate the Japanese. And they'd just be looking at me because I'm the only one who's Japanese. So, yeah, that was bad. But yeah, I was obsessed with World War II because of being bullied twice in 2 separate countries and 2 separate occasions. For the same fucking reason. So yeah, that's my story. Anyways, I'm wondering if there's any actual... Yeah, Japan basically slaves Southeast Asia. I know, but they don't actually teach you that in Japanese schools. Like, if you're in a Japanese public school, they don't say what the Japanese did to Southeast Asian countries, to any Asian countries in the World War II. So yeah, Japan committed a lot of atrocities, but the only thing the Japanese know is that they were bombed the shit out of for no fucking reason, apparently. No fucking reason, yeah. So yeah, Japanese are censored in terms of media. It's not great. A lot of Japanese people don't actually know what we did in the war, and they don't know why it's bad. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a cool history moment. Very cool, Imperial Japan. Very cool. I'm wondering if there's any actual things here that I didn't really explain, or if you guys see anything that you want me to explain that you've already seen, then I'll be happy to explain it, because I think some of these are either really personal or really like really encroached in history or culture, which my culture is Japanese or Filipino, and there's like, I don't really know Filipino culture because my mom grew up in Japan. She is Filipino, but she grew up in Japan, and yeah. So yeah, I'm not really, I can't even speak Tagalog. Steam knows this, but yeah, that's basically my story. Yeah, China. Yep. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Alright. Oh. Mm, something I think that might be interesting to revisit is actually these two PVs, which I absolutely hate. But it will be very. It's okay. I'm actually gonna explain the stories behind these two PVs because I think these two have actual stories. It's just I never explained it to anyone. I might have written the story for this down somewhere, but I don't know if I actually uploaded it. I'm not sure. But this story was I've tried to continue it time and time again. This story, yeah, I've tried to continue it time and time again. I literally called it an album. I literally made an album called Seasons Change for this story, for this one story. And I've tried making a web comic out of it. I've tried making a song series out of it. I've always just gone up to the prologue chapter with Big Al, and then I completely just stop it because I do not want to draw that much. I am not going to draw PVs for that whole fucking series. Okay, but let's just go from this Where Have You Been? So, to give off some context, this story is, or more like, this PV was my first video, I guess. First video that actually blew up on YouTube. And this is actually also the video where I met Steam. Because that's in 2013, holy shit. Anyways, this is the video where I met Steam because during the time, YouTube had this function that doesn't exist anymore, that you could, I think, attach a video to someone else's video. So there would be like these recommended videos, right? Then there would be the videos that the uploader approves of. And Steam basically linked one of his videos. Which one? Steam, do you remember which video it was? It was the Gummy Bear one, right? The one with Gumi and Oliver, the first one that you made with Morb. Anyways, no, it wasn't? Okay, I don't remember which it was then. So, well, Steam will answer that, but, so yeah, this blew up, like, this blew up, and I think this is also one of the first Oliver songs that I had ever seen. And it was by ADS. So, ADS had this cool song with Oliver in the suit. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a whole fucking series out of this. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I made a PV, and this was gonna be the first chapter of that series. Yeah, I was not a good storyteller back then. Like, a visual storyteller. I could tell stories by words, but I could tell stories by words, but I could not tell stories through video at the time. So the whole story is kind of incoherent. But basically I'll first of all I'll let you guys see the video, and then I'll explain the story behind it and what the series was supposed to be. Alright. That sounds like a good idea, right?
I'm
All right. Yep. So, yeah. Wow, this was a trip. Yeah. I'm just gonna pull up some old designs that I did on fucking DeviantArt. God, I don't. Wow, that's a fucking trip. Holy shit. Anyways, so yeah, DeviantArt. God, do I still have the account? Oh, I do have the account. All right. So yeah, DeviantArt. Oh no, no, not DeviantArt. So this story. Fuck you. This story is yeah, it's a really fucking long series. There we go. Summer's Gone. That's the name. That was the original title of the story. And as you can see here, there was these three main characters, which instead evolved into the whole Western Vocaloid cast, as in every Vocaloid that spoke English. So, back in the day, when I was like a baby Vocaloid fan, I only knew that Oliver existed, and I was like, "Oh, Oliver's so cool. He's got like this hidden eye. I wonder if there was like if he's like a robot and they just forgot to put in his eye in or some shit." And I kind of like got with that idea and just fucking went with it. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna explain part by part, but this story basically started out as Oliver is a robot created by a man who lost his son and wife in a war. Yeah, a war. So, a man was a soldier in a war, in a huge war. This man was Big Al. Yeah, his wife was Sweet Anne. His kid was Oliver. He never got to see his kid, who was just born, because when the war ended and when he went home, everything in his hometown was bombed. So he became old, and he made a robot that would basically be the replacement for his son. And my whole setting for this was that Oliver was a robot that could sing very, very well, because Big Al had a wife that could sing very, very well. And he wanted qualities of both him and his wife in his imaginary son that he never met. So he basically imagined up, hey, my son's probably 12 years old by now, because I'm old, and he was dead when I came home. So yeah, let's make a fucking 12-year-old boy robot that sings. Cool. And yeah. So in the story, basically his country is being controlled by a dictatorship, which is controlled by this symbol. Yes, Nazi symbolism. Anyways, so yeah, he makes us fully a fully complete human robot android that can sing very, very well, but he doesn't put the eyes in until the very end. So what he does instead of eyes is that in this world there's no internet. It's like, think of like a post-apocalyptic world where basically a lot of technology has been decimated and destroyed to this one like dictatorship. And this guy makes a factory. This Grandpa Al makes a factory so that he can get parts, so that he can make the most lifelike robot known to man, so that he can pretend it's his son. It's kind of fucked up, but yeah, he pretends it's his son. He gives him a good voice, and then he finally says, "Oh shit, how's he gonna learn how to speak? He doesn't have any information input." So instead of giving him eyes, what he does is that he connects his consciousness to Oliver, unconscious robot Oliver. And yeah, it's a really weird thing. But basically what he does is that he makes it so that Oliver the robot, the blind robot, can see through Big Al's eyes. So everything that Big Al sees, everything that Big Al feels, Oliver feels and sees as well. So his mind develops while his eyes are still being developed. And then one day, Ruby, Ruby the governor, Ruby the sergeant, I guess sergeant is actually closer, but she's one of the higher people in the dictatorship. And the dictatorship, by the way, is run by women, completely by women. The leader of the dictatorship is actually Miriam, and then the leader of the the leader of the military is Ruby, and then the leader of the people, like the cultural leader, in this case, like think of Japan's emperor, like it's like there's a difference between, in Japan there's a difference between prime minister and emperor, where the emperor has like significant power but only in terms of culture. They can't really do anything in terms of military or government. And then there's a prime minister that can actually do like government and military stuff. So Cyber Diva is she's basically a daughter of God. So she is considered as a holy figure, and she's the one who upholds the people, rallies in their culture, and makes sure the people are like make sure the people are symbolized. But Ruby is kind of like the back leader who takes control of the military, government, and like all police forces and stuff, so that basically what's happening is that Cyber Diva is brainwashing the people, while Ruby is actually making sure that if anyone escapes the brainwashing, they're dead. And so Ruby is informed one day by a person who goes to Grandpa Al's science laboratory, and she's basically said that there's actually this dude that's making like a fucking robot human kid, and he's really, really good. So Ruby's like, well, that's pretty interesting. Let's take the fucking robot. And of course, Grandpa Al is stormed in his own house because his laboratory is in his own house. And he gets shot in the chest. And Oliver, still connected to Grandpa Al's consciousness, is basically developed at that point. So he has some sort of some sort of understanding of the world, how to speak, how to use language, but he doesn't really know what's going on. In his case, in his point of view, the information just outright disappeared, so he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't understand death. And so Ruby and her cronies take him in, and the cronies are actually like this laboratory, and these dudes. So, interestingly enough, this guy was retconned to be Tonio. Yeah, Vocaloid 2 Tonio is one of the baddies. Anyways, so Vocaloid 2 Tonio is a big fan of Grandpa Al's robot, Oliver. And he is the one who continues his legacy in making the eyes. But then in the process of making Oliver's eyes, he discovers that you can actually connect this robot to somebody else's consciousness. So what he does to Oliver is basically he uses this Oliver robot boy, to monitor this girl. This girl being a test subject, an unnamed test subject. At the time, Ivana did not exist. Now that she does exist, she is retconned as Ivana. She's basically just Ivana. So, yeah. Unnamed test subject, Ivana, is used as a test subject to see how well Oliver can, like, get information while she's dreaming. Imagine that she's, like, in cryosleep or some sort of test tube where she's just sleeping. And every few times she's waken up and she finds herself in a cage. This is the real world, where she's in a cage. She's actually being examined by scientists to see if she's alive, if she's functioning as a human being. And then whenever she goes, and then one day they find enough information from Oliver, for Oliver, through, so basically, so Oliver looks at her dreams. Since Oliver's consciousness is connected to her consciousness, basically what he can do is record what they're thinking real time. And the scientist's goal in this story is to find a way that they could read their citizens' thoughts. So Oliver is one day taken back to Extraction, which means that he is forcefully removed from her side, Ivana's side, and they basically tear out his eye. Yeah. They just straight up tear out his eye. And yeah, he kills them. He kills all the scientists except for Tonio. So yeah, this eye is like a replacement eye. I'm not really sure what this was supposed to mean at the time, but in my current setting, this eye is basically the eye, the it's basically a symbol of the scientist getting information from his eyes. So it means that his eyes are being controlled by a third party. So yeah, that was the first chapter. That was basically the whole explanation of the prologue and first chapter. The prologue is actually the whole story about Grandpa Owl's war. And the second chapter, or the first chapter, I guess, is actually the story of Oliver himself waking up and saying, "Hey, there's this chick. No, I mean, there's this girl, and I like her, and they killed her, and now I'm gonna get revenge." That's the whole first chapter. Yeah. In the second chapters, there's like, he basically meets up with Dex and Dinah. Dex and Dinah are both like test subjects that have been turned into half animals who escaped due to this kid in their facility called Yohyaloid. Yohyaloid being a legendary rebel. And then there's Cyber Songman, who they meet, who Yohyaloid... No, wait, no. Never mind. So, oh god, this is such a fucking long story. But Dex and Dinah talk to Oliver about the world because he's a kid, but he doesn't really seem to understand what the hell's going on. So they're like, they just invite him to this house, and they're like, yeah, so the world's fucked right now, and the only hopes we have as a rebel base is the brother of Cyber Diva and this legendary rebel called Yohio. Yeah, except Yohio is being caught in a science facility, nobody knows what's happened to him, and the other guy, the brother of Cyber Diva, in fact, his name is Cyber Songman, and in this story, Cyber Diva and Cyber Songman are both blind for ritualistic purposes. But yeah, Cyber Songman is being held in a cult. No, more like Cyber Songman made a cult. And he made a cult for himself so that he could be safe from the prying eyes of the government. And Yohyaloid is being caught by science facilities. And it's basically Robot Oliver's job to go and save Yohyaloid first, and then make friends with the rebel cult, which is led by Cyber Songman. Anyways, it goes on, and one of the main characters in the story in the second arc is actually Fukase, who is a later model of Oliver. So basically, Fukase is also a robot, and instead of that one eye being controlled like this, he has both eyes that are completely red, which means that both eyes are being controlled by the government. He's a fully functional government clone of Oliver. So yeah, once Oliver escapes, he was a prototype that was originally created by Big Al. Tonio makes another prototype based on his memory. Goddamn, Tonio's a fucking genius. But anyway, Tonio makes a prototype off his memory of Oliver after Oliver escapes, and coins the name Robot something, F, I don't know. But yeah, Fukase is basically a copy of Oliver, except inferior. The whole point is, later in the series, as Oliver was doing with Ivana, like taking the information of her dreams and her thoughts, Fukase, or the main Fukase, is monitoring the dreams and thoughts of this rebel called Yohyaloid. And Yohyaloid and Fukase don't really get along, but Yohyaloid doesn't really remember his life as a rebel, and he's dreaming. And Fukase is just like, okay, yeah, I'll just get all your subconscious memories, but he doesn't really know what he's doing either, so they're both kind of in a position of being used. And once Fukase, one day, basically, Oliver appears in Yohyaloid's dream, and Yohyaloid basically says, hey, this is freaking me out because the only person I've ever seen in this space is that red-haired kid. And Oliver's like, yeah, just look at my fucking eye. And then he shows him, like, he has the same eye as Fukase, and he's like, okay, so, do you trust me now? And Yohyaloid's like, what do you want to do with me? And Oliver's just like, yeah, you're kind of caught in the dream world right now. I just want to, like, yeet you out of this place. And it was actually supposed to be to this song, Take Me Down. It's a whole fucking it's a whole fucking thing, but yeah, Oliver basically breaks Yohyaloid out of the dream world, and then shoots Fukase in the eye, which is the reason why Fukase has a cracked face and a broken eye. Yeah, that's the detailed summary of chapter 2. And then it just goes into full-blown rebellion, war. Cyber Songman has a lot of fucking weapons for some reason. Dex and Dinah come along and become like cheerleaders. they just kind of like, down with the government. You made us into like furries. And yeah, that was gonna be a whole fucking series. And then it was going to be revealed that like the person who started the dictatorship in the first place was killed, but then replaced by Miriam, because she was the lesbian lover of the original dictator, or some shit like that. And the original dictator was going to be Primo. And the killer of Primo is going to be Leon, who is on Big Al's side of the country. Anyways. Yeah, it's, yeah, I took too much time to think about this, clearly. But yeah, if anyone wants to know more about the story, or if anyone wants me to actually continue the story, please just tell me. I need a reason to either throw it away, scrap it all together, or just fucking do it. It's gonna be a long-ass series, but honestly, I really like the concept, and I've been thinking of this story for like 5 years straight, so it's really well developed in my head. It's just a normal fucking sci-fi at this point. It's just I never actually made anything to it. Yeah. But yeah, that was chapter 1. God. Okay, if anyone's listening, and is anyone tired at this point? Because if everyone's tired, then I'm just going to like cut this live stream and maybe continue another one, but depends on you guys. So yeah, I'll just be waiting for comments. Steam, what do you mean no? No as in no you're not tired, or no you're tired? Okay. Anyone else other than Steam? Anyone else that's tired or not tired or shit? So I can, like, if I get one more person to say that they're not tired, then I'll just continue the stream and just try to explain all of the stories I have that I never got to explain. Alright, cool. Okay. No, on we go to this shit. No, Steam, you do count. It's just that majority votes. Democracy. Remember? You know? Anyways. Okay, so some background story on this. Yeah. As everyone knows, at the time I was a big Ghost fan, or not really a big Ghost fan. I was one of the early Ghost fans. And I supported Ghost by leaving shit tons of comments on their videos, and eventually we became pretty good friends. Some shit happened. We completely broke it off. And the rest is history on the, what's it? Lolcow. Yeah, the rest is history on Lolcow. As much as I don't want to admit it, it's just right there. Steam, no! Anyways, yeah. This is actually a full short story. The video is actually a full short story based on the song Faceless by, at the time, they were called Ghost, I believe. Yeah, I'm not sure if they were called Ghost at the time. Or maybe Ghost and Friends, I think. But anyway, so I made the short story based on the song that they wrote. And people thought this was the actual story to the song. So I was confused, because it's a fan PV, it's clearly written here. But yeah, people thought this was the actual story, actual canon setting to the Ghost song. Which I had to explain, no, I'm just a fucking fan. And yeah, fun fact, it's also one of the only videos that, I think, yeah, Ghost, fuck, they have so many names. But anyway, Ghost, at the time, Ghost allowed me to keep this video up, even though they brought their first channel down because I had put so much work into it. It's like 2014, but I put so much work and hours into this that they just said fuck it, just leave it up, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, sure. I'm glad. So I was this in the span of like 6 years, this video blew up, as you can see, which I don't like. I don't like. And it's a fucking edgy story again, but I'll explain the story after I show the video. So here we go.
Thinking of you, of course, why I'm not this big blood, yes. The world is spinning, but I'm not happy.
be right back. Don't respect the person in the mirror asks and find the memory of me.
Alright, so yeah, this story. Okay. There's a lot to do with this story just because it's. I had time to stew over it, so I actually made I made several drafts of the storyboard for this video, and with that storyboard, I made also several different drafts for the storyline of the video itself. Basically, I believe I don't remember everything in detail, but this kid is a bad guy. Yeah, this is yeah. This kid. Oh yeah, Steam, my burnout it's because I did shit like this all the fucking time. Anyways, so yeah, this story is about basically a kid who was like a child actor or somebody special as a kid, like a gifted. It's basically a story about gifted child syndrome. So, as a kid, if you're raised to believe that you're special, you're unique, you're a genius, what's the possibility of ending up like this? That's kind of the whole concept behind the story. So, the reason why the kid, the Yohio Lloyd, uses a mask is because he believes he's the only person with a face. And what I mean as a face is that he's the only person who believes he has a unique identity. He believes that he's above everyone else. The reason why there's so many symbolisms of mirrors, especially the fact that these mirrors, right? And then in the lyrics, if I'm the time and time, the reflection of the mirror asks if I'm a memory of me. It's basically a reference to the fact that the memory of me is when I was a child, when I was special, when everyone considered me to be a genius. Am I the memory of that person? I don't really exist as my own being, but I am some sort of a reflection of that kid that was special. So it's basically about being a genius and then growing up and finding out that you're not special. So if you've noticed in the video, whenever he looks in the mirror, he sees a shadowy figure without a face. The shadowy figure without a face is him, but he doesn't recognize it as himself because he thinks that he looks the same as other people, which he is the same as other people, but he does not want to accept that. So, because he doesn't accept that he's the same as other people, when people try to... Basically what happens is that he's led by his reflection... Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but he's led by his reflection out into the real world. And in the real world, everyone looks the same. Everyone walks on two legs. Everyone's human. Everyone's an adult. They're all working. They all have jobs and that shit. But he finds out that through one event or another, I think this is the event. It's not really said in detail what kind of event happens, but he basically goes out in the real world and he meets this big guy, right? This big guy is like somebody who is better than him. So even though he's a faceless person, the faceless person bests him at what he can do best. So whether that be like acting, whether that be singing, whether that be like genius intellect or studying, working, this big guy is better than him. And this big guy basically shows that in the inside he does not have a face either. That's the whole story. That's literally the whole story. So he finds out that there are people better than him in this world. And then once he finds out that there are people that are better than him in this world, things don't make sense. He starts to think that he's one of the faceless because he doesn't accept the average person as a talented person, a unique person. He thinks that they're faceless. So once he finds out that he's just average, he's just run-of-the-mill, he goes kind of insane, I guess. And yeah, that's where it gets edgy. He's like, oh, I can't be special. I want to be special. So let's take a gun and kill everyone so that I'm the only one left, and that makes me special, right? Yeah, that's basically the whole story. God, that was so edgy. Yeah, but to be fair, that was like 6 years ago, and I was like, what? I was fucking 16. No, I was 17. What the fuck was I thinking? Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, that was a story I thought of when I was 17. Like, yeah, Yeah, just be a genius. Let's kill everyone because I want to be special. God damn, that's edgy as fuck, mate. But yeah, as Steve mentioned, my burnout is very obvious because as a kid, I had a very overactive imagination. I put way too much thought into what I made. So everything I made had some sort of like deep meaning behind it that I thought about for months and shit. And I guess I couldn't catch up with that because in the end quantity is also it's not as important as quality, but it's also very important to what you release. And at some point I didn't really think that much about stories anymore. Like these I think these songs are really story based, very story heavy. Like Breathing Feet Oliver is a whole analysis on FNAF. Memories is a breakup song. I'm not sure if I wrote that, so I'm not sure if it counts. And Shades of Depression, Five Shades of Depression. I'm not sure if you guys heard it. I don't want to play it because it's cringy, but it's very well written. For my time, the lyrics are very well written because they're super concise and super easy to understand. And the more I go up, the more songs start getting a bit more abstract because I can't be asked to think about that much shit all the fucking time. And yeah, I basically got burned out from that. So instead of focusing on the lyrics, words, and stories, I started focusing on the actual music. And music doesn't really need words, which is pretty easy for me and didn't really cause burnout. So that's why I focused more on the music and sound, and that's how I got so good at music and sound more than lyrics. In terms of my lyrics, it hasn't really grown from when I started making music, but my sound has definitely gotten better because I like focusing on that more. Like most of these have actual stories behind them. It's just I don't really want to explain all of them because there's so many fucking stories. God damn. But the ones that are important, maybe like this to the dreams that I've killed. This is one of the really rare later songs of mine that I actually put work into both the lyrics, music, and PV because all of the all of the aspects of this video are very important to me because they're so personal. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen this video. Um, it's a pretty personal video to me because I think it's one of the first songs I did that actually made open about my PTSD and my child abuse shit. It's not very obvious in the theme. The theme itself is pretty obvious, but it's kind of subtle. It's not outright saying, "Hey, I was abused by my fucking dad." Yeah, that's kind of stupid, but it's not like out there, but it's close enough that it gets to the point that when I hear it, I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's good enough for me and at least the people who are close to me because they understand what it's about. So, yeah, let's look at the wait, are you guys tired? Again, I'm just going to ask. But cuz I'm not sure how long this stream has been going on. I'm just waiting for comments if you guys are tired or if I should continue or whatever. Oh shit. I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't. Yeah, BTS. Not really a fan of K-pop music just because it's so overproduced. But yeah, to each their own. Like, I don't really mind if you like it. It's just not my thing. All right, Joanne Yoshiki Stan Alexander. That's a long ass name, by the way. Anyways, so I guess we'll moving on to the explanation of this song, To the Dreams I Killed. It was a lot of the vocal lines that I had in the song was actually not made by me, but Sus, the tuner. So this actually helped a lot in making the harmonies, making the general tuning of Fukase. So the Fukase tuning, the whole mood of the song is literally improved 100 times by the vocals, which is by Fukase. And honestly, this is my best work with him. I really can't say anything else. This is my best work with him. And this is probably my best work with any tuner that's... any outside tuner that's not me. So, you know okay, I'm just gonna play the trailer, which is on Project Overdose, and then play the original song, and then I'll point out some details in both... in the main video that stood out to me because they're important to me. So let's start.
To the dreams that I killed when ready to die. At the time that I left you alone and cried. In the dark, there's no rest for the wicked, and I find no pleasure in killing what made me alive. Someday I find that there's nowhere to hide. There's some nightmares and haunt me wherever I lie. Dreams are nightmares, a hell from which I'll never be spared. All I know is what I killed. Let the hunted know I cared. When the sun hits the horizon, another future come and gone. Lucid dreams will be awakened, and the hour is almost done. All are now are nightmares, and just long surpassed the storm. I have never given up on you, my ever never learned. Someone may come to get me. Remember who I was. I was never who I killed. I am not the blood runs through. In the days of the summer that never did close. In the dreams of revenge that never did last. Can it haunt to what me twice I've never promised. Still I wait thou shalt come to let my dreams exist.
The night
I don't know if it was my dreams or
I that suffered most, letting go of what
I felt was right. There is no God,
not one that will ever make it out alive.
and the hard girls won't remember what they've done to you.
To my mother, I never would have given up on you. To my father, I never could have angered you. To my bullies and my peers, I wish what you will never hear. And to myself, I'm still alive despite all
all your fears. To the dreams that I've killed, I hope that you can still forgive me, 'cause the nightmares mean that you are still.
Dreams are nightmares, a hell from which they'll never be spared. All I know is what they've killed. Someone let me know they cared. When the sun hits the horizon, another future's come and gone. Lucid dreams will be awakened as the horns almost run. All the never nightmare ventures come to death the storm. I have never given up on them. I am for now forlorn. So when they come to get me, remember who they were. I was never who they killed. I am not the blood they spilled. I am not the blood they spilled.
Okay, so yeah, alright. I'm gonna have to explain some backstory about myself, which is gonna be very uncomfortable for me. And probably just for me, but yeah, it's like a whole backstory. Fuck, it's like a whole fucking like a story arc. You know that anime thing where they remember shit? Yeah, that's gonna be this. But yeah, to explain this, to explain this one video, I need to tell you, or more like, I need to explain the fact that, well, as ever since I was born, I guess, or at least since I could remember. Well, I don't really have memory under the age of 10, but when I was a very young kid and until I was like a teenager, I was being abused by my father, physically. The reason why this Fukase has like band-aids everywhere is literally because of that. I was being beaten by my dad. And yeah, it wasn't a very great home situation. At school, as I mentioned like previously in the stream, I was getting bullied wherever I went because of my race. Yeah. Eventually what happened was that I got kicked out of school because of something I don't really want to explain, not even here. But yeah, I got kicked out of school. I got kicked out of high school, to be honest. And that's actually the direct inspiration for To the Dreams That I've Killed. To the Dreams That I've Killed is it's a song explaining that at the time I literally killed my future dreams because I thought I couldn't graduate high school. Yeah. That's the whole story. No, that's not the whole story behind it. It's just that it's really hard for me to say it because it's that kind of story. But anyways, yeah, I was being abused. The middle part rap where I said to my mother, to my father, to my peers, those are actually actual messages that I wanted to relate to them in the nicest way possible. So to my mother, I think I forgot the exact lyrics, but to my mother, I would have never given up on you. Yeah, that's in reference to the fact that my mother was distant as a kid. She still is distant. She probably has some emotional problems. She probably has some mental problems, and I'm talking like Asperger's, ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder. Probably somewhere on the lines of that. Because of that, I wasn't able to relate a lot to her as a kid. I have trouble trusting her even to this day. And she was also a supporter of my father, who, as I've mentioned so many times by now, he physically beat me multiple times. And that left scars. So yeah, this is basically a dream. This is basically a story of, yeah, I was beaten the fuck out of like so many people as a kid that I had to kill my dreams so many fucking times. Yeah, Steam, really. I'm sorry I didn't really say this to you in person or in private, because you know that, Steam, you know that I've tried to kill myself a lot. A lot. But yeah, that's the reason, and it's not great, but it's the truth, so I can't really escape it. Anyways, that's the reason why I left this song public, because as I mentioned, this song is actually one of the only important songs to me that I basically did most of from start to finish because it was that important to me. It's one of the songs I'm still proud of because of the song. The sound itself is really good, the lyrics are really good, and the tuning really helped to make it a lot stronger of a piece. But the content is disturbing. I would never show this to anyone I know. I would never show this to any of my classmates, any of my friends IRL. I guess Steam, you're the only exception for this, but yeah, it's just a painful thing for me. Anyways, the direct continuation of the song is Thus the Ghost Was Born, which is actually a reference to the dreams that I've killed. Basically, it's a answer song. I never really explicitly explained it, but Thus a Ghost Was Born is actually from the perspective of what would have happened if I killed myself that night. I mean the night I was kicked out of school. Thus a Ghost Was Born is basically a song that says, yeah, nothing would have happened, nothing would have changed. I would not have graduated college, I wouldn't have graduated high school, I would have just stayed a high schooler forever, and I would have just been an abuse victim. Like, that would have been my life, and that would have been my story, and that's fucking sad. So yeah, it's like a song saying, if you kill yourself, I will never forgive you. If, like, me to dead me. But yeah, that's I was kind of disappointed when I first released this particular PV because I worked hard on it and it had the same heavy meaning as To the Dreams I Killed had for me, but it had more of my own imagery. Like, I'll show you the video in a sec, but all the characters except for Oliver that come out in this video are based on previous versions of myself. Yeah, anyways, let's play this.
Disillusioned with the notion of freedom, I tear my eyes away, never decay. All they say is to think of the future that cannot remain. Time will tell if I can stay the same. I do regret all the things I have felt for those who dare not change. It is my fault. In the end, I will always feel a different way. For those who know and those who couldn't stay, I will put my axe, all the blood I've shed, to waste. The time I've spent, of all the tears I've shed, I couldn't waste a single thought. I will not waste away and rot. And all the times I cried for God and angels to die. The stars are beautiful, but I don't want to live another night. Thus a ghost was born, disillusioned from the truth. I refuse to change. What I've always known and what I've never been will stay the same. And all the lengths you've gone to stray me from these tracks will go to waste. Just a gun and a bullet is all I ever need to keep me sane. And for the rest of you, my dying song will not be in vain. I'll sing of pain and anger all throughout my days till the summer rains. This is what I've chosen. Recognize my path and stay away. A ghost was born today, killed by what they thought could never change.
So take what's left of me. You see what I have seen. Now say your last goodbye. Our best was born tonight.
Yeah. I'm trying not to cry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest here. This fucking video still hurts my soul, so I don't really like looking at it. It's important to me, that's why it's up, but if I didn't have to see it, I really wouldn't see this. But yeah, wait, let me just calm down for a sec. Yeah, this comes from a lot less of a hopeful perspective than To the Dreams I Killed. It's the negative, it's the bad ending to the Dreams I've Killed. Because in the end, To the Dreams I've Killed kind of responds to death with a sort of anger, a sort of vengeance that says, I'm gonna live, whatever you do to me, I'll try to survive. Thus a Ghost Was Born is basically a response saying, yeah, what if I fucking kill myself? Which has basically been on my mind for like the longest fucking time. But yeah, it's painful for me because it's something I've actually been through, and it actually shows me as a person, not as a character, not as like a like I'm not drawing myself as Fukase. That's literally how I looked like when I was in high school when all the fucking shit happened. The bloody nose was like, yeah, one of the nights, one of the specific traumas I have from my dad is, on one of the nights when I was, yeah, well, okay, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. One night I was roughed up by my dad because I wasn't obeying what he was telling me to do, and I had to escape. It was in the Philippines, like in the middle of the night. I had to go to a cafe. They were about to close, and there was just a lot of adults that were looking at me weird because I was a teenager in my uniform, and I couldn't go home. I literally only had money for like one, I don't fucking know, like one coffee or something. And I wasn't even drinking that coffee. I was just trying to text my friends because I wanted them to like respond to the fact that I was, yeah, Makati. But yeah, yeah, that's the only reason why the coffee shops were open, because it was Makati and it was like a Starbucks or something. That was open until like 11 or something, and I think it was like 10:30. I'm not even sure, but yeah, I was a high schooler then. Sorry. In the end, my friends, the friends that I texted at the time who were my high school classmates, they never picked up. And I couldn't trust them afterwards. Yeah. Sorry about this, Steve. Fuck, I didn't think I'd cry in public. I don't like this. But yeah, yeah, that was, I listened to a lot of songs about other people's trauma, other people's sadness, so I don't have to think about my own. And when I do think about my own, it's to make a song so that I don't have to cry about it. And if I make a song, if I leave it in some form that is like a piece of art, I can look at it as a piece of art. Like, it doesn't have to be me that's experiencing it, but you know, some things just hit a bit too close to home, and that's one of the things that hits just a bit too close to home. So yeah. Yeah, basically what happened with that night was I was roughed up. I contacted my friends because I wanted to be in a place that wasn't home. And I wanted to be safe from my dad. And I didn't really have anywhere else to go because it's Makati in the middle of the night. And it's in the middle of the city, but in the Philippines, you can't really get around if you don't have a car, and I still don't have a driver's license, so, yeah, I was asking my friends to just come pick me up, just let me be somewhere that's not home. And the friends I contacted, no one picked up. So, I remember sending a lot of messages on that, like, 1 hour, and then my friends were concerned the next morning. They were asking me, what's wrong? Did something happen? And I was like, I couldn't say it. I just couldn't. But yeah, I'm glad the camera's not on, because I look like a piece of shit. But yeah, that's when I learned to not trust people, and that's when I learned to not make close friends, and that's why I didn't say anything to Steam, even though I've known you for like 5 years. I'm so sorry. But yeah. I've been used and abused by a lot of people. Now that I think of it, and I need treatment for it, I need to get myself in order. And as I mentioned in the first part of the stream, I did try to kill myself last week. I went into the ER for that. I survived, so I'm alive. I'm just kind of bruised, I guess. I just need some treatment and something that's not just medicine, because that's the only thing I have right now. But yeah, anything else here? Yeah, I'm trying to just avoid the painful ones, but I might as well go to this one because this one actually also includes my high school self. It's a song, another Vocaloid fan PV that at the time when I released it, nobody really looked at it because it was kind of shitty quality, and it took me a long time to actually make this because of the topic, again. This is 2016, so, as you know, it's a bit closer to when I was, it's a bit closer to when it actually happened to me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna play this, and this is probably at the time, this was probably around the time I was going through the actual abuse by my dad, and around the actual event that happened. I think this is also based on the same event, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was a year after the event, which would make sense because I don't think I would have been able to make anything about that happening on, like, the same year it happened. Anyways, you'll probably understand why it's so similar. Sorry, I'm just gonna restart that again because I didn't know if I muted myself, so I'm just gonna restart the video.
Hello? I look at my phone, your number lights my screen, but it's just an illusion, 'cause it's darker than it seems. If this were television, it'd be raining down on me, but this is not quite fiction, it is cruel. Third message.
I just need more time. I only need one day, so I can finally tell you what I've wanted to say. All I you have is precious, but it isn't mine to lose. Just try to hold on, my friend. I know life can be so cruel. I know, I don't know, but you're not alone. It's harder every minute that I know you're gone. And though you may not see the effect you had on me, I know, I don't know, but maybe can this be your eulogy?
First skipped message.
I know, I don't know, but you're not alone. It's harder every minute that I know you're gone. And though you may not see the effect you had on me, I know, I don't know, but maybe this will be your eulogy.
All right, yeah. As you can tell, it's very similar in theme to the Thus the Ghost Was Born, and she uses the same character. I mean, the character of that being me, in my high school uniform, which basically means if you see like me in my high school uniform with long hair, that basically means I succeeded in killing myself. That's usually the theme of the whole PV. But yeah, I'm not sure what else I've had in these videos that have that much of a deep meaning to myself, but there are some like PVs that I did for other people that are not my own stories, but I think I like them. I just like them. Like, I think, yeah, I made the video for Candy Monster for One Thought Remains. A lot of Project Overdose videos I made. And to make, I guess we should, like, end it soonish because it's almost gonna be 3 hours if I continue for 30 more minutes. But, yeah, let's just end it on a light note and go to the Project Overdose videos I did. So, the Project Overdose videos I want to show specifically... Oh, God. Steam! Steam! Kaleidoscope Haze! Goddamn! Okay, I'm just gonna skip over Kaleidoscope Haze. That's another whole live stream in itself, but... Project Overdose had this mini-series where characters were gay for each other. And the characters being gay for each other was like the whole plot of the mini-series. I was gonna be the illustrator for this webcomic that they were going to do about these characters. And it's these two songs in particular. And in these two songs, Kaito and Dex are like a gay couple. And Dinah and Ruby are not really a gay couple, but because Dinah is supposed to be asexual, aromantic, well, I think Ruby was poly? Yeah. Not sure. I'm not sure which was which, but I'm pretty sure Dinah was asexual, and Ruby was poly, and just Dinah and Ruby. Lots of people commented that Dinah and Ruby look like they were making out with each other, but they're actually just really good friends. It's Kaito and Dex that are gay. But yeah, let's look at some of the videos that I did for this.
No fees on daily bank accounts help you afford a new streaming service. And great mortgage rates help you afford a new home. Having
It's all red-blooded. It has me so excited. Cuddled under sheets of love we shared. And my tongue in it hardly there. Through pure devotion. Creep at the forest of the ocean. Hold my hand and breathe the sugar sweet. And syncopate our hearts and heat. Oh, can you feel the time? Passing by, what is yours and mine? One
Alright, yeah. Oh, fuck. I keep opening Discord for some reason. Alright, so, yeah, as Steam said, he did the instrumentals for, I think, yeah, 80% of Project Overdose, Steam just did the instrumentals. Like, Steam did the instrumentals for 80% of Project Overdose songs. So, 80%? Maybe more. I'm not really sure. But, anyways, so, yeah, Steam did the instrumentals for this one. That's why it's so good. And the Netflix and chill, this whole joke behind the video was that Dinah, in the setting of the comic, she's asexual. And Netflix and chill is like a, sexual joke, sexual innuendo thing. So yeah, it was just like, oh look, Dinah's doing something sexy, but she actually has no interest in it. And yeah, that's why like the video, the censored video that was playing on the TV screen in that video is a lesbian hentai. Yeah, I'm not saying which one, but it's a Vocaloid lesbian hentai. That's why CyberDiva's just like, fucking stop. Alright. Okay, this is the only other video in this series that failed to become a series because I'm a lazy as fuck artist. I'm not gonna even say anything about that. I'm just lazy as fuck, man. So yeah, this is the video, and I'll explain the story behind this afterwards.
What am I got? Just a cheap solution to a problem way too big. I will not be a last minute substitution. I rather die, oh heaven forbid. 8 a.m. on a Monday, she says no. 13 different times. 4 p.m. on a Friday, I'm pretty sure that's not Kitty's sunrise. Oh, she smells like honey. I now don't wear the exact same brand. Can you lend me money? I guess you could buy her something grand. And if the day goes closer, I held you tightly to my chest, and the tension softer. Maybe not so close is for the best. What if we do you? We're together till the end. Who am I to you? A childhood best friend. And if I don't do, I think it would end. So long now I told my words, so long down my friend. And hope that you get the girl in the end. twinkle you mine, my boyfriend.
All right. So yeah, the whole story of this video is basically just Dex being a fucking himbo. Like that's literally all how the only way I can explain it. There's ads? Yeah, there's ads on the video, right? What am I? Yeah, I think there's ads, but anyways, sorry. So yeah, the whole song is about Dex being a himbo, and he in the context of the story, I think he actually goes after Ruby first, and then falls on back to his childhood best friend, who's Kaito, and they become a gay couple on like Valentine's prom or something. Meanwhile, Dinah, the reason why she is kind of like that, why she kind of has this face the whole time, is because she's just judging Dex, who's like, she's just thinking he's such a fucking dumbass, cause she's basically like his older sister or something. And she's like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, so yeah, there was also a lot of discussion between behind the designs of these characters in this specific artwork, because I don't think anyone noticed, but it's something I'm proud of, so I'm just gonna explain it. But all of them have different body types. Like, if you look at the clearest distinction between body types is Dinah's and Ruby's body type. Like, Ruby is more thick, and Dinah's more like stick. But yeah, Dinah's thick, Ruby's thick, and Kaito's Japanese. I guess he's a twink, and Dex is a himbo. He's supposed to have like abs underneath that suit, but I don't even know anymore. Anyways, yeah, there was also a lot of like discussion, because me and Sis were like playing with settings of each character, and they had actual ethnicities and nationalities. Like, Kaito was fully Japanese, I believe. Kaito was Japanese. Ruby was Puerto Rican, I think. Yeah, Ruby was Puerto Rican, I believe. I'm not sure. Dex, I think, was Filipino. And I think this is my input. I don't really remember if this was actually in the settings, or if this is something I made up and I think I remember. But I think he was like from Mindanao or something. I don't even know. And that's, as Steam knows, that's a really tone deaf opinion. And Dinah's just white. I don't even know. I'm sorry, I don't even know where she's from. She's just white. But yeah, that's the whole setting of those characters. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I can explain that much unless I go over the time limit. So I think I'm gonna end this live stream here. If you guys want another live stream, I'm gonna keep this video up anyways, because it's good for archive purposes, and that's what I was doing this for anyways, for archive purposes. So I'll just keep the video up, and if you guys want more, you could just comment or contact me, or I don't know, whatever. Anyways, thanks again so much for visiting this live stream. It was actually really fun for me, and it was kind of cathartic, I guess, because I was able to let things out in a public space, which is nice. Yeah, and yeah, Steam. Thanks for being the one guy who was here from the very start of like 3 hours and continuing until the very end. Good guy. I love you, bro. No homo. Okay.